Hey, what's up? It's time for more Alice in Borderland. We're continuing season 2 today with episode 6, which means, you know, got 2 episodes left after this. Getting closer and closer to the end of this series, and to the end of this season. There is technically another season coming, I believe, but you know, the end of the manga canon. So I'm really excited about that. I mean, it kind of feels like that's insane to me. Like, it doesn't feel like the show is wrapping up. I guess I don't know how it ends. It feels like, honestly, that there's like one more season's worth of content in it. But if the manga ended after season 2, then I feel like it's what I think is going to be that season will actually happen within the next 3 episodes. Which makes me think, how are these 3 episodes going to be paced? What's gonna be in them, you know? Because I feel like there's some pretty big stuff they'd have to get done in these 3 episodes. But I don't know. I'm excited to jump into it. It's funny, this series is probably the one that people, like my friends in real life, ask me about the most. Like, oh, where are you up to in Alice in Borderland? And how are you finding it? And did you like this or whatever? But like, that's basically out of every show that I'm watching right now on my channel, people might look at my channel and they go, oh, you're watching Alice in Borderland, what do you think, or whatever. And I find that very, very interesting, but I guess it's just because, like, not all of my friends are into anime, but Alice in Borderland was kind of, like, mainstream enough that it broke through that anime sphere. I mean, it's not anime. It's clearly not anime. It's not animated. But you know what I mean. Like, in terms of Japanese media, it's the Japanese media that sort of went to greater audiences in the same way that, like, sort of Squid Game did for Korean media and such. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this episode, especially since we are currently facing the Queen of Spades, and I really liked her from the short amount that we got last episode, or a decent amount that we got last episode. I got some ideas of how I think the game's gonna go, but I kind of just want to see how it plays out. So wow, this is a long episode as well, 1 hour 15. Whew, okay. There are some shows that I'll look at that length of episode and I'll kind of dread it a little bit, because I'm not a big fan of sitting down for long periods of time for one episode. It tends to drain me quite a bit, and sometimes I split that up into multiple sessions or whatever. But for Alice in Borderland, I feel like I like the pacing of the show enough, and it tends to, like, a lot of that tends to be like games generally, and when a lot of it is games, the time goes by a lot quicker for me because I'm playing the game in my head. So I don't mind that, this one being a little bit longer, but let's see if I mind it by the end of this episode. Let's see if I don't like it. But make sure to support this video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Go to my Patreon account if you want the full-length reaction and early access. That means you can get next week's episode on my Patreon account in full length right now. So go check that out. And if you like One Piece, go check out Jen Watches One Piece, which is a different YouTube channel that I have where I specifically focus on One Piece content. It's amazing over there. We're in the Marineford arc right now, and it's awesome. So go check that out. But anyway, let's jump into Alice in Borderland Season 2, Episode 6. I forgot how dire it is. 17 verse 3. Whoa! What a start to the episode! Oh! Wow. She doesn't even try to recruit Usagi. That's fucking insulting. Yes. God damn, Usagi. Oh god. This is cool. I was gonna say to touch her back, but you can't recruit the king. I wish you could at least, like, disable the king. Maybe, can you? Because they're supposed to, like, stay still for the rest of the round. Oh! Oh! What a start to the episode! Oh! Shit! Usagi's fucking awesome. And so is she. Oh no. Is the kid gonna do something? Is she gonna beat up a kid? Hypocrites. Is that hypocritical? Oh! I just realized, even if you can disable them by pressing on the back, she wouldn't have been able to do that now because I forgot that there's one team tagging at any given time. But yeah, maybe you could touch the queen's back and just get her disabled for a while. Oh, she's so exhausted. She's having to hold herself up on the railings. Aww. Like how they were nervous to hold hands at the start of this season, and now they're holding hands constantly. Yes, get her! Get him! Yes! Yes! Good shit, Usagi! She gonna talk to them? I don't know if you're gonna be able to convince these guys. Not without some major action. But you won't get back to the real world. Do you have anything you left behind in the real world, guys? I mean, they wouldn't have as many players to play with. I like how Arisu uses logic. She's appealing to emotion. I also like how they're stunned, so they can't. They have to listen to this speech because they're not allowed to move. A lot of people do seem to think that. But I mean, you're trying to be on the Queen's team to escape this world, so you clearly don't like this world much either. Oh. Well, now she's finally living by her father's words. I think she also wants to go back to the real world so she can be with Arisu for a while. Yeah. Yeah, the real world's gonna seem a lot better now that you've dealt with this shit. Oh, we're convincing? Oh, no, convince this guy who wasn't even part of it. That's good. Now let me shock you. Ugh. 2 rounds! Oh my god, this is gonna be tough. I didn't realize how far into it we were. Okay, 14 and 6. What's the plan? Oh, I'm excited. I'm always excited for Arisu's plans. And she really wants to recruit him as well. She's very pretty. Oh, this music. Oh, she's got a pipe. You're gonna break your fucking arm if you get closer. Oh! Nice! The Queen's running like Tom Cruise. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There's a chain there. Does he swing on the chain? Like Tarzan? Oh! Yes, he does. Whoa! Nice. Good shit. Good shit. 1, 2. Nice. Good shit. I like how that guy was cowering and he still got him. This is huge! Save as many as we can. Save everyone if we can. At this point, we have enough that the Reds should surrender. Yeah! Yes! Huge! Aww. Person precious to you. The guy standing next to you. Yeah, well, you're about to get shot. Wait a couple episodes. Time to watch her get shot. I don't want her to get shot because I like her, but... Not shot, but lasered. Sayonara. Oh! I mean, go out in your own way. Please laser her halfway down, that'd be cool. Oh my god, they are! Oh! That's awesome! What a way to go out! Aww. You guys love each other. What am I looking at? What is that? Is it a dump? It's very dark, this part of the episode. It's very hard to see. I imagine it's even worse for you guys. Okay. Are we having a hot spring episode? Yeah, fuck it. No, fuck it, why not? You two like each other. They're gonna be in separate ones, aren't they? Yeah, they are. Come on, you two, don't be scared of each other. What? Did she get bit by a crab? What happened? I don't know why there'd be a crab here, but... Oh! It's an elephant. 2 elephants. This is like a Last of Us moment. Now you two are on the same side of the bath. Just stay on the same side. And while you're at it, kiss. Stay here. Yeah! Good job, Usagi. Take that first step. I mean, if you two don't kiss now, at least let the elephants have a show. Oh! I feel like this... Okay, no, that's good. I was about to say, I feel like the sensation won't be as exciting underwater because it's harder to feel things underwater. Kiss! Yes! Good on you two. What? Uh-oh. Is it dangerous? Is it the King of Spades or something? What? I can't even see what they're looking at. It's so dark. What was it? What was that? Oh, I have to go back. 2517. I'll try to go back later. What's the necklace Kuina's got? I don't know if I've noticed that before. Oh, is this the room that one of your parents was in, I think? Kimiko Kuina. Yeah. Yeah, your mum. I know nothing's gonna happen. It's not like gonna jump up, but you always worry about jump scares when there's this much stillness. Ooh. Cool match cut though. Is that a kid's dead body? You gotta fight desperately to the end. Mm-hmm. King of Diamonds. Supreme Court. Ooh. Are we gonna see another game right now? Ooh. Kuzuryu. Okay, give me the game. Balance scale. Teach me the game. This is a cool setup. I like this set. What the heck? That's... I don't know how the fuck you do this. You have to be so smart to figure out how this game... Uh-huh. What? What a weird game. Oh, cool. New rules? Oh, that makes it more interesting. This is cool. It's crazy, and I'm not smart enough to come up with a solution to this game. This requires you to be good at number problems. I like watching Chishiya because I am pretty confident he'll figure out the game. 32.8. 26. Okay.
32を選んでも結局平均値に 0.8 をかける限り
He's trying to figure it out properly.
全員が同じ数を選んでも勝者はいない
But he's choosing on the assumption that other people know what they're doing.
相手の心理じゃなくて合理だ。近よ。
What's that? Someone pissing on them? Oh no, the scales are tipping. Oh! Oh! It pours acid on you? That's fucked up! So they're not even doing the regular laser thing. This time they're just gonna burn you alive. Chishiya's actor is so good. He's so charismatic. He's doing it fairly. Okay. This is interesting. Yeah. Did she figured that out in her head? Good on her. It just keeps going. What a weird game. Oh no, wait. Chishiya doesn't get it. Kuzuryu gets it again. That guy who's doing all the hand signals and stuff reminds me of people you see at casinos. But if everyone keeps choosing 0, nobody ever loses any points and you just stay here forever, right? That's what he always believed, but the Lord chewed him up and spat him out. I don't think that's true. Oh, look at his little attorney's badge. He's a little Phoenix Wright. Oh. He fucked up the average so that she got a point. But as long as people think that someone's gonna do that. This is awesome! What a cool game! No, but it's genius. Otherwise you guys were gonna stay down at 0 and the game wouldn't have progressed. But now he's kicked it forward. Oh! Daimon. Her name is Daimon in a King of Daimon game? Oh. -4. So he's winning still. Okay, he's got -7. Oh shit, those two die then. Oh, I don't want to watch them be melted. Oh god, are they tied down? Oh yeah, they got the belt on. Fuck, man. Jesus. And it's like, it's not even like all at once. It's like slowly dripping onto them. That's fucked. Oh! 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 Jesus, man! That's disgusting. Chishiya, you're so fucked up. 2 new rules, okay. Oh. Oh. Holy shit. Those are cool rules. So that stops people from just going 0 every time. But one person still could go 0. Oh, you're doing 0? Oh, Chishiya. Oh, all 3 of them are testing the waters. They think they're the only one that's going to do 0. I mean, if they do this, actually, I mean, she's going to die first. It's a good choice for Kuzuryu, because he just stays in the lead. 23. She did 62. Wow! Exact winner! Oh no! She's dead! Why did she do 60 something? Mm-hmm. Right.
全部読まれてたんだ。あの二人が被れば勝つ可能性はあると思ったから。
せっかく逃げるなら遠くに逃げたくなるのが心情ってやつだよね。かといって90から100あたりは極端で気持ちが。
Oh my god, look at all this!
日常生活で見慣れた。
I mean,
容易に連想できる数字。ゲーム74のどちらか。ここいらが限界。
And then he just guessed.
74
I mean, I think that's obviously far-fetched for him to come up with all of that out of that information, but it's great. I love it. I mean, I don't want to watch her die though. I don't want to watch any of these people die. Oh, Jesus!
死の間際でもやっぱりそう思ったのかな。
It's crazy how calm Chishiya can be, watching these people burn alive. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Whoa! Great rule! Great rule! Choose the lower number, but you can't choose 0, but you could. This is a well thought out game. But if you choose 100, and the other person doesn't choose 0, 0, 1, or 100. It's like rock, paper, scissors. This is awesome. I think he's gonna choose. Kuzuryu is gonna choose 100 first, because he can take some risks. I think most lives are worth saving.
分かってんじゃないか。この世に平等も公平もないってこと。ないから。来週だな。頑張れよ。
Wait, is he a doctor? I didn't realize how little I knew about Chishiya. He's a children's doctor? Like a... I forget what it's called. Wow! Respect! No wonder he's so smart.
院長の知り合いのお孫さんだよ。
じゃあ隼人君は
後回しだ。
Oh, he did.
寄付金も高く、それでこの大学病院も成り立ってる。
God damn, there's a priority list of these patients are more important because they give money to the
物事
hospital.
には優先順位ってものがあるんだよ。
Yeah, so he knows the world isn't fair
だ
either.
から説明し。
Oh.
理想を捨てることだって必要なんだよ。
I mean, he's trying to keep the hospital open, I guess. This kind of
なんとも思っちゃいますよ。
explains why Chishiya is a bit more numb to suffering.
俺はあんたとゲームをするためにこの国に来たのかもしれないな。
Yeah, I mean, you both have similar views on the
俺は
world.
100を選ぶ。
Oh, this is like in rock paper scissors when you tell them what you're gonna choose. You can get in their head.
死に向かって突き進む命がある。この命に価値があるのかな。
Oh, the mind
ぜひとも決めて
games.
くれ。
I think he's gonna choose 0. Damn, Hada making his paradise.
理想まで捨てたらおしまいだろう。
Hada sort of had the opposite ideas.
理想？
So maybe he was drawn to Hada a bit. He actually liked that. That's a cool shot.
来ません。僕も前のゲームである青年に助けてもらったんです。
Aww.
だから今度は僕が助ける番です。これが僕の生き方なんで。
Wow, this guy's cool.
生き方。
These are his ideals.
行きましょう。
He's choosing 0. He's gonna choose 0. Do it. Choose 0 and give Chishiya the win.
時間になりました。13回戦目の結果、
He did it!
チシヤ様。
Holy shit!
では14回戦目スタート。
Oh, I thought, you know what? I thought 100 was an instant win. I thought that was like the extra little thing on top of it. But it just win the round. Oh my god, they're still doing this.
あと1点。次で最後だね。
And if they choose the same number, they both die, right?
戦目スタート。
What if that happened? What if they did? I could see
やら
them
れそうか。
choosing the same number and both dying. He's showing it! What a power
死
move!
を選べば。
Chishiya! Oh, this is,
桃香さん。
Momoka, that's right.
理想のためです。
For my ideals, wow. So many people still fighting for their ideals, even if it kills them.
殺し合いなんか起きないってことを見せつけてやるためだから。
Oh god. It's a pretty fucked up way to express those ideas as well, unfortunately.
ど
Like
うせいつかここで尽きる命なら、
having to kill yourself to express them.
私は理
Shit,
私
man.
は
What if he chooses 100? Because then all life is equal.
命の価値を。
He did choose 0.
勝者、
Oh!
点が10に達した参加者がおられます。
I didn't think Chishiya would die on his own, but I did think there was a chance he chose 100 there and killed both of them.
自分の生き方を
Yeah.
決められたのかもな。
Oh, and decide how you want to die.
君のおかげだ。
He really respected Chishiya at the end. I don't want to watch his face burn off though.
私たちの出番よ。
And there's Mira, right?
乗り気じゃないの？
She has the energy of a much taller woman.
せめて私を務めるゲームは。
なんかずるいよね。
You're free. And you won. King of Diamonds complete. Congratulations. Yay. I'm so happy. You guys gonna go take down the king? I mean, next episode could be King of Spades time. Oh, that's a nice shot. Just a pretty view.
戦おう。
あ
You two definitely have something to fight for now. Oh my god, I just realized who that is. Not interested. Thanks, bye. Awesome. Nice, I loved that episode. I really, really liked it. It had 2 games in it, or like, you know, a game and a half, I guess. But it was really good because it had the climax of one game and also the full version of another game. Like an insanely interesting game, that King of Diamonds game. But first, let's just talk about the start of the episode. I loved the Usagi and Queen fight that they start with. Like, cool way to start the episode is, like, if you're gonna leave it off on a cliffhanger of like, ooh, Usagi's about to fight the Queen, it's cool to like start the episode and not fuck around at all. Just immediately, like as soon as the episode opens up, those two are fucking going at it. It's great. It's really entertaining. It was a good fight scene with some good choreography, and I love that it straight up used Usagi's talents really well as well. Like it, the Queen was a better fighter, and she won those fights, and that felt earned because it felt like she was a better fighter from what we'd seen of her. But Usagi, you know, was no slouch, and she used her movement capabilities to her advantage, which I found great. That was really good. And so yeah, they were talking a lot about, you know, how they have new motivations for going to the real world because they can like get a fresh start. Like now that they've had all of this, you know, they had a shitty life. Now they've seen a world that's much shittier, and it's like, now we have a chance to go back to that original world and do it properly this time. I mean, it is one of those things where I think being taken out of the world and being shown and have to do something like this and have to survive does give you enough perspective that you can sort of think back on your life. Like sometimes you do need to be taken out of something to realize, you know, the problems with it. An outside perspective on a lot of stuff is very useful. It's like why, you know, artists will often want to show other people their work. It's why, you know, when you're editing a video or editing a movie or a TV show, you'll be like so locked in on the edit and you'll be making little changes and stuff that at some point, like the video or movie or TV show itself stops looking like anything. I've definitely experienced this before where I just like, I stop seeing the good parts about it and I only see the things that aren't working, or I don't even see those. I think everything's not working because like, oh, this is too predictable, but that's because I know the script back and forth. That's because I've seen it 100 times, you know? And it's a really difficult thing to continue to look at. So you have to have someone on the outside look at it, or you completely step away from it, leave it, go do something else, and then when you come back, you might have a fresh perspective on it. I think, like, there's many writers that have talked about this sort of thing. I think Stephen King was one big one that I studied in uni. I didn't study Stephen King in uni necessarily. I did read The Shining in uni, I guess. But I didn't study him particularly. But there were several classes and different things that we did that were based around like writer's block and those sorts of ideas. And I think it was Stephen King who talked about, like, you know, stepping away from it. But I can't remember exactly what his advice was, so I won't say it. But what I will say is Brandon Sanderson, where's the book? I'm reading through Brandon Sanderson books right now, right? I'm starting Stormlight Archive. I've read through most of Mistborn. I didn't finish Mistborn's books yet. I read all of Era 1, which is the first 3 books, and then I read the first book of Era 2. I think it's called Era 2. which I did enjoy. I did quite enjoy, but I wanted to take a break from the series because I was like, oh, I think I'm reading these like sort of too close together. And so I wanted to like take a break and start reading the Stormlight Archive, and then maybe I can break the Stormlight Archive up with Mistborn again. So yeah, I've started this, but I do really like Brandon Sanderson's style. He's obviously immensely popular. But I really like his style. I like his dialogue. I like his world building and storytelling. But I also like him as a person. I like, you know, when I see him talk about stuff. And he's talked about, I believe he's talked about his writer's block because he is known as a very efficient author. Like, he puts out so many fucking books and so much work, and he does like his job incredibly well, right? And I think he said, like, when I get stuck on my work, I just write something else. I just go and do different work. And I think that's a good thing because it gets you out of that headspace completely. You get yourself removed from it, move over to something different, and start thinking about that, you know? Like, right now, I have had this idea for a story recently. And I came up with the idea, like, I think like 4 days ago, right? I came up with an idea for a story that I thought was really fun. And then I had this like, I haven't had this for like a couple years, I think, but this overwhelming urge of like, I need to get this story down. I'm obsessed with this story in my head. And so I just like started writing up a big document, and I put all the story ideas down, and like in my head, it's like, it would be like a comic, like a web comic or something, right? Like, I guess like a webtoon, like Tower of God type story. And I just started like writing down all of these ideas for what it could be, and coming up with these characters and these things for the world and this power system, and like I just came up with all this stuff. And now, like, whenever I have free time, whenever I'm just standing there waiting for something, my brain just gets filled with these like ideas and thinking about the story, and it sort of like overwhelms my head, and it completely takes over. I was having trouble sleeping last night because I had an idea, and then I was like trying to get that idea out of my head, but I couldn't, so I had to get out my phone and wake up and write it down. But the point is, sometimes this happens with story ideas, and I want to get them down. And then sometimes you hit a wall with it, you know? And the thing is, like, you can do other stuff. Sometimes you'll be thinking like, well, this is the only thing I can write. This is the only thing I can do. If you take yourself out of it and you do something else, then your brain will be like focused completely on that. And my brain, if I move to a different story, my brain will be overwhelmed with ideas for that story. And then when I jump back to that first one, I'll be able to look at it with fresh eyes because my brain now isn't subconsciously processing all that stuff constantly, which is making it feel more monotonous. Anyway, I'm comparing writing here to the idea of the world in general, which is like, we are part of the world and we're stuck in this world. And so we are only seeing it in the one perspective that we can see it from. In this series, it looks like they've had the opportunity to be taken out of that world, and now they're seeing the real world from a new perspective of like, well, in the real world, you don't have to worry about, you know, dying because you're bad at games constantly. In the real world, you have time for family and friends and for other people. In the real world, you can do this. In the real world, you can do that. And you start to see like these advantages of the real world as compared to the shitty things in the Borderland world or whatever. So I think that's really interesting. Anyway, I talked a long time about that, and that most of the stuff wasn't even related to the episode itself. I'm going to 2517 or whatever. I need to see what it was that they were looking at, if I can, because I had no idea what they were looking at. There was a bit where they're in the bath together and they look over. I'm looking at it. I can't see what it is. Oh, is it a dead body? It might be, that might be what it is. So like, I've got the screenshot up here. It looks like it might be a person who was crushed by the rubble. And so like, it might have been like, okay, I think I get it now. if it is indeed a person who is crushed by rubble, the idea, I think, is like they are, you know, in love with each other. And in fact, maybe, I think I get the scene now, or at least this is my interpretation of the scene. They're looking at one another and they kiss and they, you know, clearly love each other. I think possibly what's on their mind is we should have sex now. But they like turn and they see that. And it's kind of just a reminder, like, this relationship, like this us being together won't work as well in this world because there's too much death and destruction and sadness around us. Like the world doesn't lend itself well to romance, to us being happy together. So it's like yet another reminder of why they need to go back to the real world, so that when they're having their first kiss, it's not next to a crushed corpse, you know? So I do like that. I think that is interesting. I wish the lighting was a little better so that you can actually see what's there, because it was a little difficult to see. At least on my screen it was. But very cool. And then we have the King of Diamonds game. So what a crazy cool idea for a game. I really enjoyed the game itself. I mean, it's crazy because it's one of those games, I think I'd hate to play it. Oh, I would absolutely hate to play it. I hate games like that where it's sort of like, I don't know, it feels like some people would have like I've mathematically solved it or whatever, you know? But like it reminds me of sometimes with social deduction games. I've played a lot of social deduction games in my life. If you don't know what they are, they're sort of like, I guess the most popular one, the most mainstream one was Among Us, right? So social deduction games are essentially, generally there's like a person who's like the traitor and they're trying to do something against everyone else, but no one knows who the traitor is and you have to figure it out, right? So in Among Us, it's the imposter. There's Trouble in Terrorist Town, which is like the traitor. There's traitors and innocent or whatever. There's Secret Hitler, so Hitler and the fascists are the traitors. There's a lot of different games, right? I've probably played, I mean, there's obviously Werewolf, where it's the werewolf, there's Mafia. Like I've probably played, like if I had to do a genuine guess, 50 different social deduction games at least, I feel like. And it sounds like I'm a huge fan of them. I'm kind of not. I play them because they're like, it's good for big groups of people, and I used to play games with lots of big groups of people, and because there's a lot of them out there. But I'm not a huge fan of them generally. I don't hate them, but I don't know. I guess I've played so many that it's a lot. But anyway, there are some games that some people play them not as like a social game, which I feel like is what the intention of them is, but as a game. They lean into the social part of it rather than they lean into the game part of it rather than the social deduction part of it. And I especially don't like that. Sorry, I thought there was something on my floor. I especially don't like that because if I am going to play a social deduction game, I want the social part to be coming out of it. But sometimes you'll get onto a game, and I'm pretty sure games like Town of Salem and stuff were like this, which is why I never really played it much. I think I played like a couple games, and then I was like, oh, I don't like the vibe of the people playing this game, or like the way that people like to play this game, so I was out pretty quickly. But when you get into a game and people are like, okay, so everyone, you tell me this, all right, here's what we're gonna do here, let's do this, like immediately I'm like, oh, no. If you have like okay, this is the way it's supposed to go and we're gonna do it like that, then I don't like it as much. If it's like okay, so what's going on here? What have you got? Oh, you're not going to tell me? That's all right. Oh, what about you? Oh, I'll tell you this if you tell me this. You know, like if you're sort of like bargaining with people and going, like that's when it becomes more interesting rather than like, okay, well, obviously this person has this and this person has this and this does this, you know? So this game, I feel like, you know, there are like the right ways to play it and the wrong ways to play it. So I feel like in real life, you know, if I was playing this game, it would get insufferable and it would it would be so frustrating, and people would be like, why did you choose 100? What are you doing? You're throwing the game and you're screwing it up for everyone and stuff, even though for Chishiya, that's the best strategy. So I really liked it. I loved seeing the way Chishiya played. Like, I mean, I think my favorite part of the episode was that bit where everyone's going lower and lower, and before it gets too bad, Chishiya just chooses 100, and everyone looks at him like, what the fuck? Because obviously, choosing 100, if you choose 100, you lose. Like, you have to lose. There's no way to win if you choose 100 at that point in the game. Like, later in the game, you can. But in the first round, there's no way to win if you choose 100. And yet, Chishiya does it because he's specifically getting everyone used to the idea that, hey, you're all making these deductions assuming everyone's going to play in the perfect logical way, but I'm not. I also like that the players, even Daimon, Daimon survived longer than anyone else other than the two who won, you know. But I like how everyone had legitimate strategies and was very proficient at the game. I mean, I guess if you're surviving to the face card games and stuff, maybe you have to be. But like, she, at the start, she was like, oh, what? I don't get it. But she was actually like forming strategies in her head. And for Chishiya to be able to read her at the end there and come up with the exact number that she would choose, it actually sort of lends to her intelligence a bit, because he didn't assume she was just dumb. And like, a dumb person would have either just gone for 0 or something, just to be like, fuck it, you know, whatever, I'm gonna try, or go for 1, because it's like, I don't want to choose the same as someone else, but I want a low number, you know. But she wasn't dumb. She actually had a plan in her head, and so she like deduced a number that she thought was the best to do. A dumb person also, if they come up with the idea of, oh, just choose a random number, would have just gone, whatever, you know? Like, it doesn't matter if I choose 80, it doesn't matter if I choose 60, it doesn't matter if I choose 54, you know? But he figured out the exact one it was because she was overthinking it in her head. So she did have a plan, and I like that everyone in this game had sort of a plan, and they did have a way they were going about trying to win the game that made a logical sense and followed with the rules of the game. I do love at the end though that like final rule that's added of like, hey, if you both choose, or if one of you chooses 0, then the other one can choose 100 and win. That's a fantastic final rule to add, because it makes it the perfect little rock paper scissors game. And then I also just love that Chishiya just picks up his iPad and shows it to him and goes like, I've chosen 100. Like, you will choose who wins this game. I did think, since they were going so heavy on the idea of like, all life is equal, everything is fair, you know, all life has equal value, I thought he would have gone for his ideals of all life has equal value by making it so that they both die, by choosing 100, which I thought would have been interesting in itself. But I think, you know, he wanted, first of all, I think he likes Chishiya and he didn't want to kill him. And that's his ideals as well, right? Like, he didn't seem like a bad guy. So he didn't want Chishiya to die. But also just like having the power to actually like protect someone in your hands and being able to do that is something great as well. Like, he knows he can look at that moment and go like, I either choose right now to kill Chishiya or I choose to save him, and that's my choice. And he got to take that choice into his hands, and he got to do it, and he got to save Chishiya at his own cost and stay true to his ideals, just like Momika did towards the end and such. So yeah, that's really cool. Great stuff. My voice is starting to hurt. So thanks for watching. That was Alice in Borderland Season 2, Episode 6. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and go to my Patreon account for full-length early access and exclusive videos. I will see you next time. Goodbye.